Back now at 12:15 with an early look at the power of Hurricane Michael. This is part of the storm surge in Gulf County, Florida. That area is under a mandatory evacuation as the Category 4 storm prepares to make landfall. We are keeping an eye on the storm's every move. Meteorologist Josh Knight will have an update coming up in just a few minutes. Well, Father of the Year, he is not. Check this out. Police in Northern California looking for a man using his young daughter to steal from Dollar General stores. Investigators say it's likely the man has done the same thing dozens of times.
Grabbing items and placing them in her hands and then going towards the back of the store, putting her down and getting the items and concealing them on his body and then, walking out the store.
Well, police believe the man has used his daughter to steal hundreds of dollars in items over the past few months. While petty theft is a misdemeanor in California, authorities are hoping a child endangerment charge will make it a felony. A New York mother horrified by what her 4-year-old daughter came home with from daycare, 3 capsules of crack cocaine. Well, she rushed her daughter to the hospital after learning she'd put one of those capsules in her mouth.
If my daughter had ingested the capsule and not spit it out, I will be planning a funeral.
The Bronx daycare says it appears someone threw the drugs over their fence and children picked them up and passed them around. Police are, of course, investigating, and none of those children have gotten sick. Now to a health alert about a rare polio-like illness striking children across multiple states. Now there are 3 new suspected cases, and Paula Fair has the details on the illness that's baffling both doctors and scientists.
More cause for concern as 3 suspected new cases of that rare polio-like illness were reported in Pittsburgh. The disorder is called acute flaccid myelitis, or AFM. It looks like a cold or the flu, but quickly turns into polio-like symptoms. Those symptoms can include fever, arm or leg weakness, walking strangely, paralysis, and problems speaking. So far this year, clusters have been detected in 16 states, 38 cases total. That's already surpassing last year's total.
Your typical 2-year-old before this, she was running around telling knock-knock jokes.
It attacked Julia's body or spinal cord.
These Illinois parents say their 2-year-old daughter Julia is recovering after treatment. But 20-year-old Hannah McNeil of Colorado is learning to walk again after weakness in her lower extremities worsened, landing her in the hospital. She spends most days in a wheelchair.
It just breaks my heart to see those little kids going through it.
Of the 362 cases nationwide over the last 4 years, most have occurred in young children. And doctors say it's rare with no cure, and they don't know how it's transferred. But most patients recover fully.
Some kids regain some of their function, but some kids have long-lasting paralysis of their arm or their leg.
It's one step at a time. It's one day at a time. It's 1 minute at a time. It's 1 second at a time.
Well, doctors say it's important to recognize the illness's early signs and get care as soon as possible. Also, they say stay up to date on vaccines. Well, 2 boys trying on winter boots at a North Dakota Kmart got quite the surprise when they found a family of mice in one pair. Check out this video, 7 mice in all. The boys thought they were cute and talked their mom into letting them take those rodents home to be released into the wild. The store says all of the other boot boxes have been checked and there are no more mice. An exterminator has been brought in just to make sure. But here's the thing, that's North Dakota, Bismarck, North Dakota. It's October, it is cold.
Things are trying to get inside.
And get warm in some furry boots.
You know, you're used to that. Maybe if you have a pair of boots you keep in the garage or something like that, dump them out, check for spiders or bugs. But from the store, I don't know.
Yeah, questionable.
You'd be putting your foot right in there.
Oof, yeah. All right, here though, it's October and it still feels like summertime.
It really does. The switch is going to flip as we get into Thursday night and into Friday. So if you've been enjoying it, you've got 2 more days. If you are ready for fall, kind of the same thing. Only 2 more days. So let's start off with this. What's going on our view from DC, looking over toward Tyson's. We're at 80 degrees. Your feels like temperature 84 degrees, and that is because it is very muggy. You can even just see it as you kind of look out there from our tower camera, how muggy and kind of how soupy the air is. Let's switch over here to our cloud cover with the temperatures on here. 80 80 degrees for D.C., 78 in Gaithersburg. Have to look close kind of with this speckling of cloud cover. But for the most part, we're getting a few breaks in the clouds now, some sunshine, but more of this that you see farther off to the southwest that is going to build back in. Now that we put it into motion, you can kind of see how that's moving in from closer to Harrisonburg. A few light showers are out there for us, and that will be the rule as we go throughout the day. Doesn't rain for everybody, but where they do fire up, there is at least a brief downpour, and then they should be moving on pretty quickly. Everything pushing to the north. Laurel getting a little bit of rain, and some more just off to the west of Bowie along 50. There is more down to the south, basically just south of I-64. That will be moving north, so more of us will be getting some rain as we work our way throughout the day. Now zooming in back down toward Hurricane Michael, and you can see we're now about 30 miles here from the coast. This storm moving quickly, 14 miles per hour, so keeping a very close eye on this. Those strongest winds right around the eye. The hurricane force winds extending out about 45 miles from the center of the storm. More on that, we'll track it as it makes landfall, but for right now, I just want to look at the rest of today. Temperatures going to be hanging right around where we are now, slowly dropping off, still in the mid-70s around bedtime tonight, but feeling even warmer with the humidity. Overnight lows 68 to